Way different.
For starters, Integral is more fun. It's much more of a fun place for kids and for adults.
We have traditionally made school, when you hear the word school, the idea that comes to everyone's mind is there is a teacher, there is a student, the teacher is teaching and the student is learning, right? So it's a very one-side driven world when you talk about the word school. So we would like to call this a space because this is not driven just from top to bottom. This is not about a teacher saying something and the student listening. This is about where everyone gets to work with everyone and discover themselves.
It's usually there's a lot of expectations in other spaces, and the expectations are from the adult, of the child, and from each other also. And if you look at it, we are coming with our limited knowledge, that expectation to this child who's actually so much more wiser and just knows so much more than us, you know. And it's foolishness to go with that expectation in front of the child, because I really have limited knowledge, and if I open myself to this child, I can learn so much. And if I go with that no expectation to this child, the child also opens up better.
So basically you're in charge of your life and where you're headed, your academic schedule and whatnot. You're responsible for every action you take, and nobody's going to tell you need to sit down and study now, or that's enough of this, take a break. You're responsible for everything you do. And whereas in other schools you have teachers telling you what to learn, how to learn, when to stop, when to start, that if something goes wrong, you can blame them and be like, oh, my teacher didn't teach me this, so that's why I don't know how to do it. Or like, oh, my teacher was absent, so that's why I didn't take this test well. Whereas here, you're responsible whether you do well, do bad, doesn't matter. No one's going to tell you that this is how you're supposed to learn. So I think that's one of the major differences. And yeah, I think it can be a burden as well as a good learning experience.
No school uniforms, no good morning sir, good morning ma'am. Yeah, none of that. Artificial formality. It's just a lot more freedom, and it's not just freedom where you can do whatever you want. The kids are also, the kids understand their responsibility associated with that freedom. So it's a very nice space, and it's in such freedom that creativity and ability to go in depth into a subject, these aspects can blossom actually.
So you can tune it to suit your needs. There might be someone who wants to spend more time on math because they find that difficult, and if they only get one period for doing math, it might not be sufficient. So if it's flexible, you can take as long as you want. And also, if you don't feel like doing something on a certain day, you're not stuck with that subject and you have to pull through it, because there's no point in studying something if your mind's not present there.
In the previous school, I used to only study for the sake of exams, and then I used to forget everything I studied, but here it's not like that.
And we used to have all exams and all. And if you get less marks, you be disappointed and all. Here it's not like that.
Our focus is not just on the mental development, but our focus is also on a development that covers all aspects of human beings. So human beings are not just mental beings. So they are emotional beings, they are physical beings. We are hoping in this space we can help them find a balance between all their different aspects. And out of that will come a beautiful, creation. That's how unique we think.
We have a kind of a internal curriculum which goes by the particular child, and it's very one-on-one. Whether you take physical, vital or mental, it's a special program for every special being.